Hi, everyone, and welcome to this first episode in the series around TIBCO Labs Project Discover. Today, I'm going to show you how to customize your project discover analysis and tailor it to your needs. Before we start, the usual disclaimer that this deck might contain confidential information that cannot be shared without consent. So just a few words before we dig into the demo. Around process mining, for those who have missed the webinars that we have already had on that topic. Process mining is a technology that aims to discover, monitor, and improve business processes by extracting knowledge from event log data coming from the systems in an organizations. And this is exactly what Project Discover is about. So it provides business users with a single place to visualize, identify, and quantify bottlenecks and inefficiencies in their processes. How does it work? So first, the users can upload flat files or connect to their systems using TIBCO data virtualization. Then this data is processed and knowledge is extracted from it by process mining algorithms. And finally, users can explore their processes very interactively thanks to TIBCO Cloud Spotfire. And this is the part we are going to focus on for the demo today. And I'm going to show you how to customize the Spotfire analysis template that is used by Project Discover. And now let's jump into the demo. So I'm going to connect here to the Project Discover UI. So it's hosted on TIBCO Cloud directly. And this is what you get when you connect to the Project Discover solution. You end up on a page where you have a list of all the process analyses that have been created. And when you open one analysis, it's going to open a Spotfire document in which you will find the data you have uploaded for this analysis. So data relevant to your process. And you will have a set of visualizations that will let you explore your process, maybe find bottlenecks or inefficiencies, and then you could create cases in a case management tool that is called Live Apps for someone to investigate. So here we have a sample process analysis, which is called money requests. And the visualizations that you can see here in the middle of the screen is a Spotfire document that has loaded the data for the process that we created, the process analysis that we created. Here on the left, you have a navigation menu that lets you navigate through the pages in your analysis. Like here, for instance, I'm going to switch to a page which lets the user explore the different variants that have been identified by the process mining algorithms for the process that I'm analyzing. So here, for instance, I can switch from one variant to another, and it's changing the data in the visualizations that are in my Spotfire document. You also have the ability to filter the data that is present in this analysis by using this filter panel overlay here. And that's the filter panel that we are going to modify in this demo. So as I said, this document is a Spotfire document. So for modifying it, we are going to switch to TIBCO Cloud Spotfire. So I'm going to switch to the Spotfire library. In your organization folder, you will find a Discover folder in which you have a subfolder called main. And in this folder, you can find the main analysis, which is used by Project Discover, which is named Project Discover Latest. And I'm going to open that analysis and modify it. So we just need to wait a few seconds until the document is loaded and also the data. So Spotfire server does something for you. It's going to save user preferences so that when you reopen the document, it's going to set a number of preferences in this document, for instance, for loading some data. But if you want to load the data for a specific analysis, you can find the analysis ID directly from the project Discover UI. So I'm going to copy this analysis ID and paste it to the document so that I have some data to analyze. Because here, when you first open the XP, outside of the the project Discover UI, there is some dummy data in the DXP, but it's preferable, let's say, to load data from an analysis that you have created before you modify the DXP, so that you can really customize the DXP based on your data, your own data. And here in this analysis, you will find exactly the same pages as the ones you had in the project Discover UI. And as said, we want here to modify the filter panel. So I'm going to take one of the pages that are shown in the filter panel. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that page, because it's easier to start from something that is existing compared than starting from scratch. And say I want to, instead of this bar chart, I want to use another kind of visualization to highlight, for instance, a trend. Maybe the line chart would be more appropriate. So I can, by right-clicking on the visualization, switch the visualization to another type. Or I could also change the, for instance, the dimension that is used in the visualization. So for instance, here, I want to analyze and filter data based on the resource, so the person who made an action. So I can, from there, select the resource. The data table we are using here is a data table called attributes in the Spotfire document. And this data table contains normalized columns, so the ones that have been standardized by the process mining algorithm. And it also contains all the extra options, so the extra columns or the business data that was present in the data before it was processed by the process mining algorithms. To make things a bit more readable on this visualization, I'm going to sort the bars by value and convert that to horizontal bars. And I'm also going to show a zoom slider, for instance, so that it makes things a bit more readable, and then I can zoom in to see the resources that have processed the most activities. I could also, if I right-click on this visualization, create a details visualization like a cross demo. Here I'm going to show for each resource that is selected in this analysis, I'm going to show the number of events, so the number of activities this person has processed. And I can also show, for instance, the number of cases this person has worked on. So I just modified and customized my filter tab. I'm going to rename it to something more readable. Let's say I'm going to call it my filter. And now I save my customized DXP to the Spotfire library. And here, don't forget to change the name of your analysis to avoid overwriting the default one. So I'm going to call it like BSO, which are my initials. So it's going to take a few seconds to save the DXP into the library. And now it's done. And I'm going to show you now how to use this new Spotfire document in the project Discover UI. So first, from the process analysis, I'm going to the templates page, and from there, I'm creating a new template. And when you create a new template, you can select one of the built-in templates as a kind of master. So I'm going to copy here the discovery template, which is the default one. I'm going to change the name, click next, and on the next page, I have the ability to choose the path of the DXP I want to use in this template. And I'm going to select the one I just created here. I'm going to click next. And now that's the page where you would customize the navigation menu. Here I'm just going to pass it, and instead I'm going to modify the navigation menu that appears in the filter panel, because that's the same behavior. I'm not going to make things twice, just going to modify the filter panel. It's really the same behavior and the same mechanism if you wanted to modify the navigation menu. So I'm going here to add a menu item and give it a label. So here I'm going to filter by resource. And then in this drop-down menu, you can find the pages that exist in the Spotfire document. And here the page that I just created is called My Filter. Then I save. You click on next and finally create. And here you can verify that your template has just been created. Now that the template is created, I need to assign it to an existing process analysis. That's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to change the template that is used by the money request process analysis. And you can see here that it's loading the right Spotfire document. So it's taking a few seconds again to reload all the data. So I'm just going to wait a few seconds. And now it's done. And we can verify in the filter overlay that we have this new page, the one that we added in the configuration wizard. And we have also the visualizations that we just created directly in Spotfire. And now you can select some data in this visualization, see the details in this detailed visualization, and finally you can also filter the data on your selection. And that's it for the demo. So I'm going to switch back to the slide deck and give you a few URLs you might want to explore if you want more information on the Project Discover solution, and also learn about some customer stories. So here in a few takeaways. So Project Discover is a process management solution built on TIBCO Connected Intelligence platform. And for customizing the filter panel or your Spotfire document, you first need to create a copy of the default DXP. You can then customize the DXP by adding new pages or visualizations. This is what I showed in the demo. And finally, you have to create a new process analysis template from an existing one and customize the menu items, the path of the DXP, and the filter pages. And that's all for today. So thank you for your attention, and I'm open to questions if there are any.